We're here with you. 6 a.m. Let's start it up.
All right, 6:03 this morning. Hey, thanks for spending time with me this morning on News Radio WRVA. It is Monday, July 13th, the year of our Lord 2026. Thank you so much, for letting us be part of your morning. Thanks for hanging out with me all morning long. So I'm Rich, Super Dave behind the glass, Gary with your news, traffic, weather, and he's kind of got everything for you this morning as we get you ready to seize the day, win the day by waking up with us again. We remind everybody, this is yours. Either you spend time with us in the morning or you're going to be the guy walking around going, I didn't know that. That's why you wake up with Richmond's Morning News, or you play the rest of the day, spend the rest of the day playing catch up. So, Super Dave, I hope you had a nice weekend. Sunday. Big nap. Perfect day for a nap.
Nothing wrong with getting some naps in.
No, because it was rain. I got up, went to church, ate breakfast. I'm like, I think I'm going to take a nap the rest of the day because it was that perfect napping weather. It was rainy. It was that leave the window open a little bit. It wasn't incredibly warm, like it had been over the 4th of July weekend. Perfect day to take a nap.
And like I said, there's nothing wrong with getting a good nap. And I got a lot of errands done. Got my hair cut.
It looks nice.
Thank you. I'm looking pretty again.
One of these days, we're going to have to get a webcam to show you in the studio.
I'll have to
think about that.
I'll have to keep my hair cut more often then.
You'll have to check with your agent to see whether you want to be on camera all day long.
I think that costs extra money in my contract.
Something like that. All right. Well, good. I'm glad that you had a nice weekend. Let's get to Richmond's morning news brief today and kind of tell you, here's what's going on around the world and Central Virginia. We started off again with a story people have been talking about for the last 24 hours. Lindsey Graham, the senior senator from South Carolina, rose to prominence as one of the impeachment lawyers against Bill Clinton. That's when he really became a household name. Moved on to the Senate, had been a long-time running mate with John McCain, passes away over the weekend. That's our first big story of the day.
Number one.
Who else took on the challenge of trying to protect Ukraine? Who else took on trying to get a bipartisan, good, secure border immigration bill? He was such a doer.
Lindsey Graham had been a long advocate for Ukraine, been a long advocate to fight back against the Russians and against Iran. The president has ordered all flags across the country to be flown at half staff in his memory. So who's going to take over for Lindsey Graham? That is yet to be seen. But Lindsey Graham passes away over the weekend from a heart attack in his home in Washington, D.C. That's story number one. All right, story number two is a little bit more personal. Folks, I wrote an op-ed for The Hill a while ago, and I talked about these laws that we make in Capitol Square and Capitol Hill. They have long-term effects on actual human beings. It's not just policy, it's actually human beings. That's where we're going to go with our second story of the day, because this one I saw over the weekend. Tyler Englander had a great story about this. It's something I know quite a bit about, and that is CBD. That's our second big story of the day.
Number two.
Welcome to Virginia, California, where Richmond dreams in Sacramento style. We got pot shops coming, lawyers funded, and a budget stacked a country mile.
All right, so the governor and the General Assembly saw fit to regulate marijuana in this Commonwealth through a budget process. We know that budget process is flawed. It was haphazard. It was sloppy, and it's going to go before the courts. We know that they made a huge mistake because a lot of the pot laws we have on the books right now, those marijuana laws, are now been pushed back, and the new ones that will establish retail marijuana are pushed forward. So we have actually 1 year of ambiguity. Now, they say that there's a way to fix this. I don't know if that's legal or not, but I do know this. When I saw the story from Tyler Englander, and a great job by him, told the story of a little girl here in the Commonwealth of Virginia with Dravet syndrome. Dravet syndrome is a gut-wrenching form of epilepsy. This little girl, who at the time was a little girl, now 25 years old, depends on CBD oil to fight off these epileptic seizures that are absolutely debilitating for her. Well, guess what happened? In the rush to get the pot laws passed to open retail marijuana stores, and the haphazard, I'm going to say it, half-ass bill they passed by the General Assembly, they wiped out the ability for this young lady to use CBD. I'm going to explain the whole thing coming up in just a bit. You're going to be outraged as I am. We're going to meet the mom of this fighter who now is going to face life back again with constant seizures because of the actions of the General Assembly. We're going to talk to her mom coming up at 7:30. Grab your tissues. It is gut-wrenching what you're going to hear thanks to our governor and our General Assembly and their haphazard work on this bill that they shoved into our budget that makes no one happy. It was done poorly. I'm disgusted by it. You'll find out that these bills that they shove into this budget, the stuff that comes out of Capitol Square, actually affects human beings like you and I. You don't want to miss that coming up at 7:30. Story number 3, Iran keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. The U.S. wants to talk, and Iran, well, they keep firing ships in the Middle East. That's our third story this morning.
Number 3.
Officials say they're meant to continue degrading Tehran's ability to attack civilian ships in the vital Strait of Hormuz. This coming just hours after the U.S. unleashed a third major air assault on Iran. About 140 military targets were reportedly hit, including missile and drone sites, naval assets, and surveillance equipment. The strikes were in response to another attack on a commercial vessel in the strait. Tehran later retaliated by targeting U.S. military facilities in Jordan and several Gulf states. This new wave of violence following a week of escalating strikes between the two countries. Meantime, mediators are racing to revive peace talks.
All right. They continue to have peace talks, but they continue to fire back and forth at each other, talking about Iran and the United States of America. So over the weekend, Iran continues to fire at ships they say have deviated from the one slot that they say they can use to get through the Strait of Hormuz. They keep attacking these ships, and the U.S. keeps hitting them back. 3 days of overwhelming firepower going back towards Iran, then 2 days of limited firepower heading back towards Iran. Either way, I think the question we have to ask, is Iran really interested in negotiating, or are they trying to run out the clock to get closer to the midterms to see if they can find a different Speaker of the House or a different leader of the Senate to stop President Trump? We'll have to see. All right, story number 4. We'll go to the world of sports. A couple of big sports stories coming up over the weekend and then coming up this week as well.
Number 4.
All right, Dave, are you a UFC fan?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. All right, Conor McGregor fought again. Did you know that?
Yes. I didn't watch the fight, but I saw the highlights.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
5 years since Conor McGregor fought. David, here's what I'm going to tell you. There are 2 things that are undefeated in the world. You know what they are?
Father Time.
And Mother Nature.
And Mother Nature. That's true.
Conor McGregor is an old man, especially in the fight game. Went out, tried to fight after a 5-year hiatus. He made a bad movie. He was in the remake of Roadhouse. Oh, it was awful. It was truly
I heard
awful.
It was bad.
It was truly, truly awful. I won't even watch it for free on streaming services anyway. He did that, went around the world, did his thing, wanted to get back into the octagon and fight, lasted like a couple minutes, blows out his knee, and loses badly.
I think it was less. I think it was maybe just over a minute.
Yeah, something
It was in
like
the first
that.
round.
So again, man's got to know his limitations. I understand. I am getting older. He didn't. Loses this weekend UFC, and it's a tough way to go out for the guy who was really one the greatest fighter.
Oh, he was a badass.
Sport. He was awesome.
He was a badass when he was in his prime.
Yeah, so he just stuck around a little too long trying to make a comeback. By the way, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game coming up on Tuesday in Philadelphia, Citizens Bank Park, Home Run Derby tonight. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I don't know if I'm going to stay up to watch it, Dave.
Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on it's okay. The Home Run Derby.
Yeah, it's just.
Now, do you like the All-Star Game itself, or is that just?
I do like the All-Star Game. I'm
the same way. I like baseball's All-Star Game, but the Pro Bowl and the NBA All-Star Game.
Well, the Pro Bowl has become flag football now.
Yeah,
So
it's terrible. And the NBA All-Star game is just awful.
Well, that's awful. And the NHL All-Star game in hockey is horrible as well.
Yeah,
Nobody plays defense.
No, exactly. And that's why baseball really has the best All-Star game.
Yeah, exactly. So that's coming up tomorrow. Okay, and then finally, you know where I'm going. I've got another Colette trip coming up in the fall. We're going to Yellowstone. We're going to see Mount Rushmore. But I saw this story, Dave, certain things you don't mess around with. Bears, wild dogs, hornet's nest, and bison at Yellowstone National Park.
Number 5.
Oh, I had sound. Do you have sound? No? Okay. I'll have to get that for you. So a guy goes to Yellowstone National Park, and he gets flipped on his head by a bison. Oh, you know what? Coming up, I'll get you that sound of the report of he's like, dude, what happened? I got too close to it. It chased me down, knocked me over. Anyway, that's our fifth story this morning. Just be careful wherever you go. Please stay away from wild dogs, hornets' nests, or bison at Yellowstone National Park. All right, coming up on the program, like I said, I'm gonna have a little conversation with you about the effects of what really has. It's really made me quite angry because the slipshod way that they put together this marijuana bill that they shoved inside the budget, hiding it in there, has real world consequences. And we're going to meet someone coming up at 7:05 that's going to live all of that because of the shoddy service that we got from Capitol Square. You don't want to miss it. In fact, I tell your friends, you've got kids, you want to hear heartbreak from a mom on why we need to pay attention to these things, you'll hear it coming up at 7:03. All right, today's program brought to you in part by Michael Greer, GreerFinancialGroup.com.